Piers Morgan has been frustrated with Harry and Meghan from the onset, but this time his frustration has gone over the roof, and now he is exposing their lies and hypocrisy.
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars.
Piers is so furious with Harry and Meghan that even the sight of them seems to set him off. It got so intense that when he was given a choice to apologize, stop speaking out about the Harry and Meghan drama, or lose his job, he picked the exit without a second thought. He lost his job and wore it like a badge of honor, standing by every word with absolute conviction.
And eventually my boss had said, can you just apologise to Meghan Markle, or you're going to have to, maybe lose your job. I went, I'll take the job option, thanks, I'll leave. And I walked off into the sunset.
He even walked out of a live television set in front of viewers, showing just how intense his reaction toward Harry and Meghan had become. And even after that moment, his stance has not changed and does not appear to be slowing down anytime soon.
To trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not my
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
This is absolutely diabolical behaviour.
For Piers, when Harry and Meghan stepped down from royalty in 2018, their biggest argument at the time was that they wanted privacy. Harry stated that he wanted a private life because he did not want his children to be exposed to the same level of media attention he experienced growing up as a child. So, in theory, privacy was supposed to be the foundation of their new life.
But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
But according to what Piers has repeatedly pointed out, what followed after their exit looked completely different from that claim. Instead of stepping away from public attention, Harry and Meghan appeared in high-profile media interviews, award events, sporting occasions, and global platforms. Even when they were not nominees or official guests, they were still present at major entertainment and social gatherings. Harry also participated in a widely broadcast interview with James Corden on an open-top Hollywood bus. At that point, many began questioning how someone claiming to want privacy ends up in such highly visible public settings.
Harry and Meghan, the dreariest couple in the history of planet Earth, famously abandoned their royal duties for a life of privacy. They left the goldfish bowl of Great Britain for the camouflage of California, remember? Famously sheltered from the evil British press. And since then, they've kept an incredibly low profile, as they vowed to. If you excuse the massive book deals, the Silicon Valley startups, the preaching videos about well-being, the podcasts, the speeches, and the major network interviews with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to James Corden.
Then came the Oprah interview, one of the most talked about interviews they have ever done. During that interview, a lot of personal and royal matters were discussed openly on a global stage. For Piers, this was another major contradiction because it painted a picture far removed from the original idea of stepping back for privacy. Instead of reducing exposure, it increased global attention even further.
We deal with the criticism of being rank hypocrites, and now we have them.
They couldn't cope
in
with
their
the
California
toxic
mansion
nature of
garden,
the criticism,
spewing their guts to Oprah Winfrey whilst banging on about intrusive media. I mean, you couldn't make this up. Sorry, I just think it's utterly ridiculous.
After that, they continued to appear across media projects, streaming platforms, and public appearances. Meghan also attended high-profile fashion events, including appearances connected to Balenciaga Paris Fashion Week. From Piers' perspective, the idea of seeking privacy does not align with constantly participating in global media moments, interviews, and public appearances that attract worldwide attention. Piers then moved a step further and focused on Meghan's relationship with the British press. He stated that when Meghan first came into the royal family, the British media initially supported her heavily. She received widespread positive coverage, especially leading up to the royal wedding. Newspapers and media outlets reportedly highlighted everything from her wedding dress, the scale of the ceremony, guest lists, cake design, and overall royal preparations. The coverage at that time was largely positive and celebratory.
Wedding,
covered.
I don't think anyone's ever had better coverage than they got. And they've conveniently forgotten all that, because the moment it got critical, they reacted incredibly badly, and then it was racist, toxic media. Well, they weren't racist and toxic until the wedding, were they? They were incredibly supportive of them, actually. So it's a complete rewriting of history.
But according to Piers, instead of being grateful for that early support, Harry and Meghan completely flipped the script. They started accusing the press of racism and unfair treatment, which Piers rejected completely and called historically inaccurate. He was there from the beginning, and he was not having it. And the press was just the starting point for Piers. He also went after their environmental campaigning, pointing out what he called the most obvious contradiction in celebrity history. These two were out here giving speeches about saving the planet while hopping on private jets every other weekend. Piers described it simply as hypocrisy, and honestly, it is hard to argue with him on that one.
Here they are once again, having taken private jets again to do this. They've got all this thing going on, behaving as though they're doing a royal visit, the very thing that they didn't want to do in the UK. I just find it all a bit sicky.
And then Piers went after something a lot of people were already thinking. Meghan has a father, a real one who raised her and walked her down that aisle. Well, for her first wedding at least. And she has not spoken to him since. Piers pointed that out directly and let the audience sit with it.
I think he's not the brightest bulb in the tulip patch, Harry, to put it politely. I think she is very manipulative. Meghan Markle is someone who's basically got rid of almost her entire family on her side, apart from her mother, her entire family on the father's side, including her father, which is incredibly sad. And now she's wrestled Harry away from his family. So how happy they really are in this mansion in California when they have no connection now with any of their family, bar one or two people, I find it very hard to believe that makes anybody happy.
Then came the spare commentary. Piers could not believe that Harry actually published a memoir exposing the most private details of his own family's life. He questioned how someone who preaches compassion and healing can simultaneously be selling family secrets in a hardcover book for $20 at airport bookshops worldwide.
And then doesn't do anything to protect the father at all. And so now she's disowned him. What kind of people put compassion on their website, as they do, as being at the centre of their core being, when they live 70 miles away from this guy who has not got long for this world, he's in poor health, all he wants to do is meet his grandchildren, and she won't have anything to do with it? That's not compassionate. And also the hypocrisy and the lies are not what I think are decent values in people.
The Oprah interview came up again too, and this time Piers focused on the timing. Prince Philip was unwell. The Queen was dealing with health concerns. And Harry and Meghan chose that exact moment to sit down with Oprah and air everything on global television. Piers called it a betrayal of the most basic family loyalty.
I mean, bear in mind, they gave this interview after it was revealed the Duke of Edinburgh had been taken to hospital. He's still in hospital 2 weeks later. He's nearly 100 years old. He's ill. He's sick. He's very sick. He's a tough guy. He wouldn't be in hospital for 2 weeks otherwise. And yet they think this is the right time to be going on national television around the world, bleating about what a tough time they've had.
He also brought up the pandemic. While millions of people around the world were losing jobs, losing loved ones, and losing their minds, Harry and Meghan were filming themselves talking about their struggles from a California mansion. Piers argued that the disconnect between their messaging and the global reality at that time was simply impossible to ignore.
In the middle of a global pandemic, we now have to listen to Prince Harry telling us it's been so tough.
Well, shall we listen to him? Here's Prince Harry on the press.
Piers also argued that whenever Harry and Meghan face legitimate criticism or tough questions, the mental health card gets pulled out almost on cue. And his point was not that their struggles are not real. His point was that it has become a very convenient way to shut down any conversation that gets too uncomfortable. In his words, you cannot demand to be heard and then hide behind vulnerability the moment someone pushes back.
You know, it was a really difficult environment, as I think a lot of people saw. We all know what the British press can be like. And it was destroying my mental health. I was like, this is toxic.
Yeah.
So I did what any husband and what any father would do, is like, I need to get my family out of here. But we never walked away.
Yeah, well, I guess, and also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay, but it's a very real thing.
And finally, Piers tackled the Diana comparison head-on. Harry has repeatedly suggested he fears history repeating itself. Piers shut that down completely. He argued that Diana's circumstances, the media environment she faced, and the situations she endured are nothing like what Harry and Meghan have experienced. In his view, that comparison is not just inaccurate, it is deeply disrespectful to Diana's memory.
Having known both women, Princess Diana and Meghan Markle, I can say with absolute certainty they had nothing in common whatsoever. I couldn't think of two women more different.
There you have it. Piers Morgan speaking out strongly about Harry and Meghan and highlighting what he sees as contradictions and inconsistencies in their public actions and statements. What are your thoughts on this situation? Let us know in the comments section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.